Now I'm delighted to have joining us again on Outsiders. He's the head of the Australian Jewish Association, the AJA. You can find them on Facebook. Dave Adler is a regular on Outsiders. Glad to have him back on the show. Want to talk about a couple of things. One is Dave Hurley, our Governor-General, with your taxpayers, not only attending the Holocaust commemorations, which I mentioned, but then running across the road and playing Tutsis with Mohammed Abbas, the head of the Palestinian organisation. And also we'll talk about Trump's plan. Dave, welcome back to Outsiders. How are you?
Thanks, Rowan, and it's great to be on the best news commentary panel in Australia.
That's it. Excellent. Well briefed. Well briefed. Fantastic. Now, Dave, first of all, just before we get into Donald Trump's plans for Israel and Palestine, just quickly tell us what you thought about our Governor-General not only going to the Holocaust commemorations, but then rushing off to see the Palestinian Authority.
Look, the juxtaposition on this visit is frankly outrageous. I need to make the point that we have a lot of respect for the office of Governor-General, but it seems he was extremely badly advised. It's appropriate for him to go and join the commemoration for the International Holocaust Remembrance Day, which coincided with the 75th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz, but then to go and visit a person who is a known Holocaust denier, who uses Nazi-type propaganda to generate hatred, and actually pays those who kill Jews. I mean, that's nuts. And we don't know exactly who gave him that advice and set up the meeting, but it looked very bad. And
well, I would suspect it was be our delightful DFAT, Department of Foreign Affairs. Rita?
I would suspect the same. I want to ask you also about Prince Charles's comments after he attended this same event, and the fact that New Zealand sent nobody. Do those two things concern you?
Absolutely. I mean, Prince Charles, as you have commented repeatedly, he's become a bit of a leftist political activist, and on this issue, you know, it's consistent with pattern. And New Zealand, we learn that their equivalent of DFAT, which is MFAT, the Ministry for Foreign Affairs and Trade, actually mucked around with the invitation that they had received from Israel for some months. And by the time they actually presented it to somebody who might be able to represent the country, it was too late.
Now, David, we've discussed this in the past. In the last couple of years, you've done some terrific work, along with, I believe, Pauline Hanson and others, and this show, I would argue, getting some $10 million taken of taxpayers' money that was going to the to the United Nations kind of education of kids in the Palestinian territories. We're still giving $43 million. I just want to play you a little clip which was taken of kids in Gaza or in the Palestinian authorities talking about what they are being taught. Now, just remember, they are being taught this with money from Australian taxpayers and elsewhere, obviously, around the world. $43 million from us. Just have a quick listen.
الصهيونية هم أعدائنا وهم أهم شيء لازم يسوي فيهم عملية. يعني إنهم بيعلمونا بالمدرسة إنهم إرهابيين بيحكوا لنا عن اليهود إنهم هذول مش منيح وهذول بقتلوا قاعدين بشبابنا بيحكوا لنا
And they are saying, David, that they've been taught, basically. As I said earlier today, you know, it's not the kids' fault, it's the people pulling the strings of the kids, and these kids are being taught with our money to hate Jews and to desire to kill them. Your thoughts?
Look, this is outrageous. UNRWA, which runs the schools for much of the Palestinian Arab children, is identified as a problem by many countries. The US has withdrawn funds. A number of other countries have suspended or withdrawn funds. And we actually think that it's high time that Australia did so. The worst aspect of our whole foreign aid program is when you give money that does harm.
Absolutely.
And in this case, our $43 million is proven not to have assisted peace, but to actually be actively harming the prospects of peace by being used to incite hatred.
Absolutely. Now, we've only got a couple of minutes, David, so just quickly talking about peace, what did you make of Donald Trump's Israel-Palestine plan? We'll put a map up and you can talk us through it.
Okay, well, I've got it here. It's a comprehensive plan. It's 181 pages. It deals with the whole spectrum of issues. I think it's important to understand Australia is not a major player in this plan. The major players are the US, Israel, Egypt, Jordan, some Arab countries. So we've given a lot of strategic thought as to what Australia can do to assist peace. We've seen violent rejectionism by the leaders of the Palestinian Arabs. So we've already touched on the major thing that Australia should do. We give $43 million in the budget to Palestinian territories. And we have a moral question now. Should we continue to fund a regime that rejects peace and embraces terror? And obviously we're saying no. So Australia should suspend that $43 million aid until the Palestinian leadership demonstrates that it's prepared to sit at the table and negotiate peace. This plan is very, very generous to them. And there's a lot of it's been thought out very well. There are things in it that we don't like that are very concessional from our perspective, but we shouldn't be giving money that props up and incentivises the refusal, the no, no, no. This is the 8th peace plan which they have rejected.
And you would, I'll just quickly finish, you would give your, basically you're giving the thumbs up to the plan with some doubts over some areas, but you think that we should not be supporting the Palestinians if they don't support the plan. Correct?
100%.
Fantastic.
100%.
David Adler, thanks so much for coming on, head of the Australian Jewish Association.